Hey, hot tubbers. Welcome to the podcast, Tub Talk with the Hot Tub Lady. I am your host, Jacque Johnson, and today, I apologize. I sound a little bit rough. I do have allergies going on, which all of you are probably very aware of yourself. The dust around here is just absolutely insane right now, so I apologize for the little hoarseness in my voice, but otherwise I'm hoping I am sounding okay for you all. Let me know if you don't hear me correctly, but I apologize, but it has been absolutely nuts around here. I have been working my tail off trying to get the book ready. It should be, I hope to have it uploaded this week to Amazon, and then you guys can start doing some pre-ordering for that. But Hot Tub Clarity, an easy guide for new and frustrated hot tub owners. I'm really excited about that. I've been working on that really hard, but that should be available here. It'll go on sale in November, but pre-orders should be showing up here pretty quick. And then just a lot going on. A little frazzled today. I did try to multicast over to the new Facebook group, Clean Your Hot Tub Filters. That's our new group. It is doing really well, and I would love to have you guys come join us. I will get all of the links for all this stuff in the show notes or on the YouTube description here just as soon as I get off of the show here, but it has been a little bit crazy and I'm running a little bit behind. I was also working on my new website, which I hope to have live next week, and I'm pretty excited about that. I think you guys will enjoy that a lot. And those of you that are on the membership channel, I'm going to send another preview over to you guys so you guys can check that out. So if you guys aren't members yet, you can definitely become a member of the YouTube channel, and I will help you guys out there as well. I do private spa schools. All the live streams eventually end up landing over there, and it just takes a little bit of time to get them over there, but we'll be over there for that, and we're super excited for all the things on via that way. And so you can join the membership join the membership site, and then also make sure that you check out the Facebook group, because there's lots of content that's just not out there for everybody in the world to see, but I do have all that. But that is what is going on so far. But I'm going to stop in here and say hello to the chat. If you guys have any questions about today's topic or anything at all, please jump in the chat. I will definitely help you out. But we have Tracy Doss Williams. Tracy, welcome to the chat. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. We're really glad that you are here. You do have a question. Detergent in clothing cause bubbles? Absolutely. It'll cause very many bubbles, and I have actual really extreme rules at my house that especially like my kids and everybody, when they come see me, we actually have hot tub suits that stay at our house. We do not recommend that you wash your suits in detergent. We actually would like you to see people actually, the recommendation that we do give at our store is to actually just wash those suits without detergent, and you definitely don't use fabric softener or anything like that. And then of course you want to, people with longer hair, we want to make sure that their hair is up and those type of things, because those things all do add bubbles to the hot tub. So that is something to definitely keep in mind, and you definitely want to keep those out of there. Never ever any street clothes in the hot tub, because that will add so much detergent to the water. No t-shirts, no underwear, nothing like that. If people have street clothes and they want to get in the hot tub, if you own a hot tub, you definitely want to have some extra swimsuits available. And I like to buy them actually this time of year, because they're usually on sale relatively cheaply, and it's a good time to actually get them now. So we appreciate that. And then Tracy's in the San Gay area, and she says thank you very much. So welcome. So any of the rest of you, I see we have quite a few people on the stream today. So please jump in, say hello. Let's find out where you're all watching from, and see what questions that you might actually have about what you want to do. on the hot tub channel. So Ronald, he's actually a member of the channel. He says, love your channel. I just ordered the eye care from you. And he's from Galveston, Texas. So Ronald, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. And we will definitely get you taken care of today. And he also has a Vanguard about 1.5 years old, and I love it. So Ronald, thrilled to have you here. And I am glad that you got your eye care ordered today and we got all your questions taken care of. So he's a bus driver out there. So I know he loves his hot tub a lot. So for the rest of you, today's topic, so I actually have a couple of consultation calls today. It's pretty excited about that. And actually, both of my calls this afternoon after I get off the stream are people who are looking to buy hot tubs. They aren't people who are actually looking for questions about how to take care of their hot tub. They're actually looking for information on how to buy hot tubs. Really happy to spin that consultation call via that way. So by all means, if you guys want to reach out to me personally, you can just go to the website, thehottublady.co. That's CO. Again, I'll put all the links down below later, but you can go there and you can schedule a consultation call, and I can either help you out with your hot tub water care, or I can help you out with some advice on buying a hot tub. And believe it or not, I don't always tell you to buy the hot tub that you think that I would tell you to buy, because we just discuss things that are important to you. And I'm going to kind of get into those questions today a little bit. And one of the things that you guys definitely need to check out if you're going to be buying a hot tub is, are you going to use the hot tub, and are you going to use it a lot? And the answer to that question is yes, you are. A lot of people will come in and they'll be like, gosh, I just don't know if we're going to use it. I've heard all kinds of things, that once people get them, they never use them and that type of thing. What I would tell you with the experience that I do have is people who don't use their hot tub were never taught how to use their hot tub. So the thing that I can tell you probably is the most important thing when it comes to purchasing a hot tub is you've got to like your dealer, and you've got to trust your dealer, because you're going to have a relationship with their dealer. The reason this YouTube channel is doing so incredibly well and all this stuff is happening, it is because people are just buying hot tubs, or there's hot tubs just showing up and they're landing in their backyards and they have no idea how to actually take care of their hot tubs. And that is why I'm here, and I am helping out a ton of people, and I'm thrilled to do so, and I want to help you, but you are going to have a relationship with the person you buy the hot tub from. And hopefully you find yourself a good dealer, and they're going to be there for you. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that every single dealer is going to do that, but in my personal situation, when I sell you a hot tub, you get my cell phone number. I tell you to text me. We talk. I get a lot of messages, after hours and that type of thing. Most people aren't around their hot tubs or anywhere near their hot tubs during business hours. I mean, I'm not. There's no way that I can do that. So how do I expect you to be around your hot tub during business hours? Now, I always answer text messages. I may not be super immediate, but I do always answer text messages. And if they require a phone call, we will get on the phone call and talk with that customer. And I'm not going to guarantee that every single salesperson out there is going to do that. For me, it's important because in a lot of cases, these people are spending anywhere from 15 to 25, the average going rate of a hot tub right now is anywhere from $5,000 to about $25,000. And for a lot of people, there is actually, the hot tub is the third most expensive thing you're ever going to buy. Number one, obviously, is your house. Number two is a vehicle or two or 12 in today's world. That's definitely getting up there. But it's going to be the third most expensive thing that you ever buy. Not for everyone, but for a lot of people, that's the case. And I want to be there for you when that time happens. And a lot of my peers, most of the people that I know and that I actually work with and associate with, those people have that same philosophy. We're all about, we want to make every day made better, and we want you to have the absolute best hot tub owner experience. And so for us to do that, we need to be available for you. But I mean, don't expect everybody to give out their cell phone, but you do want to, that's one of the questions you want to ask when you're out shopping is, how's the support after the sale? Who do I call once I buy this hot tub and it's in my backyard? Because I'm going to have questions, and I know I'm going to have questions. Who's going to take care of that for me? Is that something that you personally are going to take care of? Are you going to hand me off to someone? Is there a water care expert here in the building that's going to help me with the water care? If that's the case, I would maybe ask them a few questions before you actually purchased, because it is important. Water care is the most frustrating part of owning a hot tub, and it's not that it's hard. It's incredibly easy to own a hot tub and take care of a hot tub, but it's a new language. That's the bottom line. It's actually a new language, and it's really confusing because it's brand new words. There's words like alkalinity and calcium hardness and why does this have to be this way and why does that have to be that way? So it's really important that you do have a relationship with either A, your salesperson, or B, the person that is going to take care of you after the sale. So if you can make that work, that's great. And I will tell all of us that are in the industry, honey goes way further than BS, if that makes sense. If you're nice to us, I guarantee you we're going to be nice back. So if you can do something to help yourself, and that's just be understanding. And people don't realize how busy the hot tub industry really is. And we're selling more hot tubs than we've ever sold with less people than we've ever had. And so everybody is very overwhelmed and doing everything that they can. So be patient and be understanding. And trust me, with a question that you have about your hot tub, everybody else has got the exact same question. So we're constantly asking those questions over and over and over again, or answering those questions over and over again. And as an industry as a whole, we're trying our best to get more and more content out there and trying to educate the public so that you know what's going on. But you are going to have a relationship with your hot tub dealer. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there. There's a lot of stuff that is really good, and there's a lot of confusing information out there. So you want to be able to trust someone. So make sure that you do go and have a good relationship with your dealer. So if you don't like the dealer, or you don't feel like, even though that might be the perfect hot tub for you, but you don't like what that dealer is saying, you definitely want to figure that out. Price is not everything. So I obviously sell some really high-end hot tubs, and I sell some very much entry-level hot tubs. So it's really important that you make that relationship, and you ask a few questions. And I'm going to give you some questions to answer here. And I'm actually going to make a PDF for you guys to download for questions that you should ask your dealer. Again, I just ran out of time, but if you guys swing back around, or give me till tomorrow, there'll be a PDF that you guys can download that'll actually have a list of questions that you should be able to ask. And most dealers should be able to answer that on a very, very quick, easy, off the top of their head and comfortable situation. And that's what we really hope works for you. So I'm going to check back in with the chat. We got Sweet Pea stops in, and she says, hello. Hi, Sweet Pea. Really nice to meet you, and I'm glad that you're here. And then we have Dan McNeil looking for brands recommendations on a round hot tub, 2 to 4 person, 220, will be used daily, prefer soaking, prefer less jets than more, looking for quality. Dave, happy to help out. And there's not a lot of round hot tubs that are available in the market anymore. The Nordic has a really good round one that I believe is 220 only. I don't know the exact model. The round ones that I sell are going to be the fantasy spas, and I'm also going to sell the free flow spas. Now those are 110 units. You can wire them in 220, and if you're not looking for a lot of jets, that might be a really good way to go. That would be a good value without doing a lot of round hot tubs. Hot Springs has eliminated all their round hot tubs. They do have a triangular hot tub. I believe Jacuzzi still has a round one, but I'm not 100% positive on that. but there are the things that are important to you, Dave, when you go shopping. Make sure it's super well insulated. That's probably the biggest thing. Make sure that there's insulation in that hot tub. And again, I would find out what the warranty is and who is going to actually warranty that hot tub afterwards, because that is more important than the actual purchase of the tub. And you guys, I mean, as you guys are out shopping and looking at things, everybody's gonna be drawn to the internet, and everybody's gonna look at the big box stores, and they're gonna look at the Wayfairs and the Costco's and the Amazons and all those things. The thing that I would tell you on that, or you might even be tempted to go to a show and purchase. The thing that I would tell you on any of those things is, if most dealers in the market today are pretty overwhelmed and very short-staffed. And if you don't purchase the hot tub from them, they are not going to service it. So if you bring in a hot tub online, or you purchase something that's online and it goes down, you might have saved a couple thousand dollars, but I guarantee you that you're not going to be able to get service for that. So unless you're really handy yourself. And the other thing that I would definitely check out is the availability of getting parts. If our current economy has taught us anything, is part availability has really become a challenge. And if you have an off-brand, or if you have something that somebody doesn't service, it is getting really hard to get parts for a lot of this stuff. So, and I've mentioned this a couple of times on the podcast, that I've mentioned this a couple of times on the podcast, that if there's brands that I've brought in over the last few years just because I needed a product, and it'll have one type of spa pack or one type of pump or one type of heater in it 6 months ago, and now it's got a completely different pack in it. And I mean, that, which changes everything. I mean, that changes how you run the controls. That changes absolutely everything that's happening with that. And we didn't know it happened. I mean, so I'm selling you something that's showing up in 6 months, and it's completely different than what I originally had sold you. And that's just happening on occasion. That's settled down a little bit, but the ability to get parts on anything that you have out there is a challenge. So if you're going to even consider buying something online, I would 100% make sure that you can get parts for that. I would call your local dealer and say, hey, I'm looking at this hot tub, and I would just tell them you already have it, actually. I would call your local dealer, or even call the manufacturer of the brand you're looking at, and say you have a 2-year-old version of that hot tub and you need a new heater, or you need a new jet pump, or you need a new spa pack, and find out if they can even get it for you, because it's burning up that quick right now. There's stuff that you're not necessarily able to get the parts for that is less than 2 years old. So definitely check out some of that information as well, because that's a big deal. So that's one of the things that you want to for sure check out. Sweet Pea says, what are your thoughts on master spas? I'm interested in the ISX 800, but I hear the brand is good. I currently have an inflatable hot tub, and it's used every weekend. First of all, congratulations. I'm glad you're up in your game from the inflatable to a solid build hot tub. That is a big deal. And if you're using your inflatable every day, when you get into a fiberglass tub or a rotomold hot tub, you're going to use it even that much more. You're absolutely going to love it. And you've figured out that a hot tub is better than no hot tub. So that's a huge deal, and congratulations on that. Master Spa, Master Spa actually does build a relatively decent product. What I would tell you is, I would definitely, if you are looking at the Master Spa, I would make sure that you have a dealer that can take care of you and service you after the sale. I know in my market in particular, in fact, pretty much the whole state of South Dakota, if you buy a Master Spa, there's nobody that's going to work on it. So I do believe there's a dealer in North Dakota, but here in South Dakota, there's nobody that's going to work on it. And if you buy a hot tub, if you live in the middle of South Dakota and you buy a hot tub at a show, you have to pay mileage to get that person to show up to look at that hot tub. So that's probably the biggest thing that I'd have to say. I do feel that there are some hot tubs. Sweet Pea, I probably need a little more information. Where exactly do you live? What part of the U.S. or what part of the world? And is insulation super important to you? Do you need to have a really well insulated hot tub? And if so, I would definitely do a little bit of homework and check out everything on that. As far as the actual hot tub itself, it's decent. It's a good hot tub, but I would definitely check out. Make sure you answer all the questions that I'm going to be talking about today, because you got to be able to get service afterwards. You've got to be able to get parts. That's a big deal, and you've got to be able to not have to pay a fortune on mileage to get somebody to come see you. So we got Dave here. He says, can you describe the different materials used for hot tubs, shell, pros and cons? Absolutely, Dave. I'd be more than happy to do that. So there are, obviously we already talked about it. They're inflatable hot tubs. Those I would definitely consider, they're a good entry level, get your feet wet hot tub. If you live anywhere where it gets cold, those are not going to last. I mean, they're a 1 year, maybe 2 year hot tub, and anything of size is probably going to cost you anywhere from $400 to $600. Here in South Dakota, you can't use them outside; they have to be in a garage. So there's that type of thing. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that, but of course you start with the inflatable. The next series up is going to be what they call rotomold, or your that would be your polymer hot tubs. And what they do with those is they take all the hot tub, or they have this giant machine, and it looks like something from, I don't know if you guys remember the movie Contact or not, I don't even remember who the actress is, Jodie something. But they pour all these beads, these plastic beads, they pour them all into this machine, and it just does all this crazy stuff, and it spins and it rotates and it does all its stuff, and then at the end of it does that for a couple hours, and then it just drops the hot tub out at the end of it. It's very cool. I've seen it, and they do really well, and I've been to the factories and I've checked it out, and I've had the rotomold hot tubs are becoming more and more popular, and I really, if you're just getting started, I think that's a really good way to go. Again, we sell the Fantasy and we sell the Free Flow, and we also sell the Dreammaker hot tubs. And those are really good. And those shells actually do incredibly well. And most of them are incredibly well insulated. And you're never going to have an issue with the shell itself. The problem with them is that typically they're a 110 unit, and they usually only have one pump. So that's probably the biggest downfall of those. But if you're looking for an entry level, let's get started hot tub, and I know you were asking about round ones, again, I would definitely check out the Fantasy or the Free Flow on that. But they're a good hot tub. Now, they're not. Are they going to be your Hot Springs High Life? No, they're not, but it's a good place to start. And for us at our dealership, we actually, if you buy a rotomold hot tub at the very beginning, we'll actually give you a year to use that. And then once that's done, we'll actually give you, so within that year, you can come back and trade that in, and we'll give you 100% of what you paid towards a new hot tub. You have to go up a series, but that's a good way to find out if you're actually going to use your hot tub, if you like a hot tub, that type of thing. The next material that you're going to find is typically a fiberglass with an acrylic backing. That's going to be a little more common, little more what you're used to seeing out there in the hot tub world. That stuff, nothing ever happens to that. I mean, never say never, but it takes a lot for there to be something to go on with that. Lasts forever if you keep it from freezing, and if you keep it from getting too hot, it's going to be totally fine. And they've done some really cool stuff with that. Now, the cool thing with those hot tubs, depending on what brand you do, so Hot Springs is my favorite brand, and you guys all know that. And if you do like the Hot Spot or the Limelight series, that what they're going to do is they take that fiberglass shell, they suck it down into, take a vacuum and they suck that down into the mold, and then you have the shape of your hot tub. So then they build the frame around that, and then they back it up with, well, of course, then they plumb it, and then they fill it up with all the insulation. So they're incredibly well insulated, and that's an awesome way to go. And then if you go even up a step higher and you go into the High Life series, then those are even, they're just wow. There is nothing better built out there. And that particular series, then they put in the spray foam insulation, which actually also helps support that shell. But the beauty of that is it's so well insulated. It's what they're popping in all the $1 million mansions that are showing up all over Sioux Falls, and there are quite a few of them. But all those people that are buying those $1 million homes, this is the insulation that they're doing. So it's the absolute best that's out there. And it actually helps support the hot tub, and it does a lot of things for you structurally. And then the other thing is it really helps the hot tubs from leaking, because you got a big 2-inch pipe running around that hot tub. And if you've got a hot tub that's just got an air pocket insulation in there, with that 2-inch pipe that's running around there, and every place there's a joint that comes down and glues into that pipe, that's a place where the hot tub could eventually leak. And if there's no insulation supporting that, hot water is very heavy. And in a 2-foot section, you've got about 30 pounds of water sitting there. And every time those jets kick on, that pipe starts vibrating because there's just nothing else it can do. And eventually you're going to have leaks. And so with like the Hot Spring High Life or the Limelight series, that is all supported with insulation. And so it's going to hold that pipe and help support that weight, and it's just going to keep the hot tub from leaking. So that's kind of what I've got going on there. Dave, did I answer your question? I hope that helped explain all that. But there's more to it than just the shell. I wouldn't be scared of the rotomold, and especially if you're looking for a round one. I do think that I sell a ton of them. I mean, we have sold more rotomold hot tubs in the last 2 years than we have in the last 20 together. So they've really come a long way. So let's stop in here and let's talk to Katie L. Hey, Katie, welcome. Glad you're here. Hi, I have my Hot Springs Pulse freshwater salt system for 2 months, and I highly recommend. I also recommend anyone new to hot tub to get the iCare water monitor. Takes the guessing game out of it. Hey, Katie, thank you. We appreciate that. So the iCare is definitely a game changer for sure. So I appreciate you bringing that up. So here's some questions that you guys need to ask, and what is important, and ask yourself before you even ask a dealer, what is important when it comes to buying a hot tub? Is it just price? Are you just thinking about price? Because if you're just thinking about price, there's so much more to it than pricing. And I will always say you get what you pay for. And reality is, I would say that if you want to get a quality hot tub, you probably want to plan on spending at least $15,000. That's kind of where the bigger hot tubs that you're going to be able to take care of and are going to last you for 20 years. That's about where those are landing these days. Again, I don't want to take anything away from the entry level, but they're really good, but you definitely want to get what's important. And just like I was talking earlier, it's really important that you actually have you buy your hot tub from somebody you can have a relationship with. That's more important than what hot tub you buy. So who you buy from, I would honestly say, is more important than what you buy. So kind of keep that in mind as well. And just because there's sales, there's that type of thing, but you definitely want to hang on to the people that you feel are knowledgeable, that you feel that it's somebody that you can call in 2 months and say, hey, how does this work? Why is this cloudy? Why is this jet pump making this sound? Why are my lights not working? I mean, just the things that come up, those are just questions I had today in between everything else that I was doing. So you just definitely want to keep that in mind. So what's the most important. And if you're a handy person and you can figure it out and you like to read your manual and you're going to check out YouTube and all those things, then that's not as important. But just know that having a good dealer behind you is the key to becoming a happy hot tub owner. And like I always say, I want to help you become a happy hot tubber. So number 3, when you're out there shopping, what is the warranty? And that's a big deal. And who's going to take care of the warranty once you figure out what the warranty is? I mean, I sell hot tubs that have a 1-year warranty to all the way up to a 5-year warranty on the equipment. Some of them have a 10-year warranty on the shell. Some of them have a 7-year warranty on the shell. They have 5-7 years against leaks, all those things. But that is something to definitely want to check out. And then you also want to find out who is actually going to fix that hot tub if there ever is an issue. I would love to tell you that once you buy a hot tub, it's you're never going to have to worry about it again. Everything's fantastic, and I hope that happens for you. I really do. And I do have a few customers, actually I have probably 80% of my customers that never actually need anything from me ever again. But they know that I'm here for them if they do need something. And I hope that you can find somebody to buy your hot tub from that will be there for you if you need something as well. But you do want to find out what the warranty is. That's a big deal. And you know, when you're shopping, I mean, it's important to go to the stores and see how people are being treated. See, you know, is it crazy? I mean, our store right now, we are absolutely insane. The phone's ringing off the hook, and we're doing everything we can to take care of people. But but we're happy to see every single person that comes in, and we always do everything we can to help them. And you know, a good way to do that without even going to the stores, check out Google reviews. In my opinion, Google reviews are a really good thing to check out. And in today's world and the way the hot tub market is run, people know that Google reviews are everything. And if you're looking to buy a hot tub and you can't find a dealer with 100 Google reviews and hopefully 100 5-star Google reviews, I would maybe just think twice about it. Now, obviously, take a look at your market. If you live in a town of 20,000 people and, you know, they've only been in business for 3 or 4 years, then they may only have a few. But if you are, you know, in a serious market, like my hot tub stores in Sioux Falls, and I think we have pretty close to, I don't even know anymore. I want to say we're pretty close to 200 Google reviews. But you definitely, if you're in a bigger market, just look at the Google reviews, and more importantly, look at the most recent Google reviews. You know, look at the last 3 months of Google reviews or the last 6 months of Google reviews. That'll tell you a lot. And if you do find somebody you like, be helpful to that dealer and actually give them a good Google review. That Google reviews are everything. And if you can actually do that for people, it will help them out a lot. So just make sure that that's there. You know, how comfortable are you with just the dealer in general? Do you feel good about them? Do you feel that they are taking care of you? Do you feel you feel like they're on the up and up? Those are all really big things. So, how is the service department? Just like I was telling you guys earlier, if you're looking to buy something online to see if you can get service on it or see if you can get parts on it, I would call around and find out how far out are they on service. There's some reality to that question. We used to say that we could get to you in 24 hours. That is no longer an option for us. We definitely prioritize situations. When it gets to be really, really cold and your hot tub's not heating, we're all over that. Your lights aren't working. Yeah, we'll get to you. I mean, and it's not that it's important because we want to fix that, 100% want to fix that, but we do have to prioritize things. If your hot tub's leaking, that's a big deal. We're gonna get that taken care of. If your hot tub's not heating, that's a really big deal, and we're gonna get that taken care of. So, but call around and call everybody. Don't just call one dealer. Call the 4 or 5 or 6 that are in your market and just say, hey, I've got this hot tub. It's 2 years old. When can you come out and service it? And if you don't want to play that game, just call and ask to talk to the service manager. Ask them how long will it take them to actually get out and take care of you when it comes to buying a hot tub. They're going to be honest because they have no choice. They have to be in the world today. Their total transparency is everything. So you definitely want to check that out. My next one is how are reviews. We kind of check that out. Ask your friends. Hot tubs have become super popular. I mean, they're they're one of the fastest growing industries out there right now. So ask your friends, where did they buy their hot tub? Why did they buy it from them? Has their experience been good so far? Those are all really big things, and you definitely want to check that out. Find out who's going to deliver the hot tub. That's a big deal as well. I mean, these are big, they're heavy. And, is it an in-house place? Is it somebody outside of the market or outside of the business that's going to deliver it? I mean, I'm seeing more and more of that where dealers are actually hiring companies to deliver hot tubs. Sometimes that's a better situation. Sometimes it's a worse situation. If you can move a little faster, that's a good thing. But if they're going to damage your hot tub and damage the property, damage the fence or damage the deck on the way in, those are things to find out. So, I mean, the whole hot tub shopping experience goes from you're researching where you guys are right now today to the actual 2 months from now or 2 months after owning the hot tub on how your experience is going. And again, we want your experience we want you to have the best water, we want you to have the best energy, and we want you to have the best massage. Those are the things that are our mission statement. That's what we want. And for us to do that, we have to sell the best product. And to sell the best product, you got to do a little bit of homework, but you also, there's a lot of education that goes into it for us to make that happen for you. So kind of check that out as well. Number 9, will you actually get an orientation? This is a big deal. I'm actually in business today as the hot tub lady because of the amount of people who are not getting orientations. I will tell you, excuse me just a second. I will tell you that the majority of my consultation calls, I try not to do consultation calls in the Sioux Falls market just because those people should be getting taken care of anyway. But if the people that call me that are outside the Sioux Falls market, the majority of them are actually, they're getting a cheat sheet if they're lucky, and they drop it off and they're like, good luck. And, if you can't, like I live in a relatively rural market and I can't get to every single customer that's out there. But what I can do is I do have a lot of YouTube videos and I do share those with people, but I know exactly which ones to send them. And I do everything I can to help people out and teach them how to run their hot tub. Our service manager kind of jokes. He goes, people buy these $40,000, $50,000 pickup trucks and they read their manuals and they figure out how to use them. Why don't they do that with hot tubs? And I'm like, I don't know, because read your manual when you get it and check that out and do the research. But there's so much conflicting information on the internet that it is a challenge. But again, it all comes back to who you buy it from. Who is more important than what? So make sure that you're checking that out. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but that's a big deal. Another thing that I would have you check out is how it's really important that if you can, and it's getting to be more and more popular now, hot tubs are showing back up in showrooms again, so you are able to go look at hot tubs, but get in them. I mean, actually sit in them, feel how they are. Are your knees up in your nose when you're sitting in it? Can you stretch out? Do you feel like you're going to float out of it? Actually sit in the hot tub, because the most expensive hot tub you ever buy is the one you don't use. And if you buy a hot tub that's really small because it's on sale for $29.99 today, and it's not the one that you're going to use, that was the most expensive $3,000 that you've ever spent. You definitely want to get the hot tub that you're going to use, and you're going to want to get a hot tub that's comfortable for you. Comfort is super important. Are your shoulders down in it? Are you sitting in it where the water only goes up to your belly button? Things like that. do the jets hit you where you want them to hit you, or are they spraying water in your ear? Those are things that are really important. So climb into the hot tubs, and everybody is different. Everybody has, I can kind of size people up when they come in and look at their height and their weight, and I can kind of be like, oh, we should go this direction or we should go that direction. But find out who the whole family is. It's important to figure it all out. So don't go in with just a price point. Actually go in with what fits me. So that's a big deal. Climb into hot tubs. We want you as salespeople, we want you to get into the hot tub. Nothing makes it easier for you to narrow down which one you want than you actually sitting in them. That's a big deal. And even if you have to take 2 or 3 trips into the store, or you have to check several stores, make it a point to get into a minimum of 2 hot tubs. If you haven't picked out your model yet, a minimum of 2 hot tubs before you actually make a purchase. Because if it doesn't fit you, then why? I mean, why would you do that? That's, it's like buying a car that's too small, and then you're driving with your head clear down under the windshield. Just make sure it fits you. Number 10 is, do they do water testing? And if they do water testing, I mean, do they charge for that? Is that something that you get for free? How often can you bring in water testing? What is their recommendation on getting your water tested? Again, that may not be your actual salesperson. That might be somebody. A lot of companies actually have a water lab and a whole department that handles the water chemistry piece of it. But especially if you're getting into saltwater is absolutely awesome, and I so recommend your saltwater hot tubs. If you guys are out there looking at them, salt is the way to go. You got the titanium heater, you got the 24-hour circulation pump, you got the absolute best warranty that's out there, and this is before you even add the salt. But salt isn't hard at all. It's different. And the people that struggle the most with salt are the people that had a hot tub in the past. And they're actually going to they want to do what they already know, not what is now new. So it's important that you actually you've got some education that's going to hold your hand, and you're going to be able to listen to the people. And it's good to try to get, even at our location, people get different answers sometimes. There's quite a few of us that have been around for years and years and years and years, and we will, I know this works, Kevin knows this works, and Rebecca knows this works, and so whatever has worked, we'll try to take somebody down a road on something that they've got going on. But you do definitely want to, ask a couple different people a couple different times, hey, what happens when this happens, or what happens when that happens? So those are all big deals. Number 11 is, good product, but bad dealers. There's some really quality hot tubs out there, you guys. Again, anything from Watkins Wellness is absolutely fantastic. And what I love about Watkins, and I've been with them for years, is they do what they say and say what they do. And it's absolutely awesome. I am totally spoiled rotten. I have taken on other brands in the last few years. They communicate better than anyone. You know exactly what's going on. You know exactly when your hot tub's going to ship. If your hot tub's not going to ship when they said it was going to ship, they let you know months in advance. I mean, so that is worth a lot. But their warranty and their customer service, that's all the same all the way through it. And they will always get to the bottom of it. I 100% guarantee it. So definitely make sure that you get it checked out and do your research. Check Spa Search, check the best places to actually get a hot tub. Jacuzzi's a really good hot tub. Sundance is a really good hot tub. Excuse me. I'm a fan of fully insulated hot tubs. I'm not a big fan of the hot tubs with the vapor barriers. That's just me personally. One, they leak less, and two, they're more efficient to run. Now you can come back with the argument that those hot tubs are easier to repair. Yeah, they are. They're definitely easier to repair, but the one thing that I wouldn't do is I wouldn't build a house and not insulate it in case I ever had a plumbing issue down the road. So why would you build a hot tub the same way? So just something to think about. So give me just a second again, you guys. I apologize. Allergies are kicking my tail. And then number 12 is you want to make sure that you just get the absolute best hot tub experience that you can get. And to do that, you're going to have to buy that from a good dealer. And you definitely don't want to just buy it you definitely don't want to buy it just from a big box. You don't want to buy it on the internet. Used hot tubs are a pretty decent way to go. If you check out your Facebook Marketplace, there's getting to be a few more showing up once in a while there. Again, I would find out where they bought it and if you're going to be able to get service from that afterwards. So anyway, we've got Michael stopped in and he says, more seats and more couples, if you know what I mean. We'll go with that. No, Michael, it's not COVID. It's my allergies. They're actually here in South Dakota. We are in harvest season, and it is definitely dusty, and it's kicking my tail. That is for sure, and it's actually kicking pretty much everybody else's tail that's out here. So, I mean, those are just some of the tips that I have. And again, you guys, I'm going to put down in the notes, I'll put a actual guide for you guys, just a list of questions that you need to either take into the dealer and say, hey, what about this, or B, kind of just read them and know the things that you're looking for. I know there's got to be a few more questions out there about there's quite a few of you watching yet. I mean, if there's a question that you may have, a hot tub that you're actually looking at buying, I'd be more than happy to answer any of those questions. I mean, that's definitely a good way to go. And I'm thrilled to answer any questions. Michael says, do you have a saltwater hot tub? Absolutely, Michael, I do. I have had a saltwater hot tub for about 7 years. I have the Hot Spring Grandy. Absolutely love it. I'm going to tell you the truth that when it first showed up, or when they first put me on salt, I kicked and screamed. I didn't want anything to do with it. I was like, no way, this isn't going to work. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't willing to do all the work that was required. When I went to salt and I found out how easy it actually was and how good the water felt and everything that came with it, I became a believer very, very quickly. And it is absolutely awesome, and I 100% recommend a saltwater hot tub. And I do think that they are the best, absolute best ownership experience that you can have as a saltwater hot tub. You do have to get your water dialed in. You have to make sure that the hardness is below 75. You have to make sure the phosphates are in line. You have to make sure that the salt doesn't get above 1750. And it's important. There is a learning curve, and you do have to figure it out. And that's where my book is coming in as well. I mean, there's several chapters on salt in the book, Hot Tub Clarity, because there's just no information out there. But it is a learning curve, and I do think that saltwater hot tubs are 100% the best way to go. And no, they aren't going to wreck your concrete. No, they're not going to destroy your deck. No, they're all the things. It's not going to happen. Those hot tubs are built to handle the salt. You can't put salt on anything, but that's why those titanium heaters and those 24-hour circulation pumps and all the things make a big, big difference. Michael says, how often do you change the cell? Michael, I get a solid 3 to 4 months out of my hot tub. And in fact, right now I am on out of my hot tub, my cell. I need to change my hot tub, and the cell is screaming for me to change it, but I need to drain the water, but I want to make a video over it. So you know how that goes. So I've been supplementing with chlorine the last, 2 weeks, but I am on 5 months with my current cell. So, but I keep my hardness in line, I keep my phosphates under control, and it does make a big difference. So, and we kind of go that way. Dawn says, looking to buy our first hot tub, so I definitely will rewatch this. Well, that's awesome, Dawn. I will be happy to help you out. And if you have any questions in particular, if you have any questions in particular, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, and that is the hot tub lady what Instagram is hot tub. Gosh, it's been so long. I'm at the hot tub lady on Instagram. PM me there. I will definitely help you out. If you have any specific questions, it's a big deal. Again, I think if I could stress anything, it's more important than who than the what. That's definitely be worth it. But I do appreciate you rewatching, and hey, jump on over to the Facebook group to clean your filters. That's my personal Facebook group. We're just getting started over there, but there's a lot of really good people on there, a lot of hot tub experts that would be happy to help you out if you have any specific questions that you want to ask over there. And then you can get somebody else's point of view other than mine. So Michael says, salt sucked for the first year. Now I understand it. Like I said to Michael, it is a learning curve, and once you get it figured out, it's absolutely awesome, but you do have to get it figured out. And people just have a tendency to put in too much chlorine. They have a tendency to shock them too often and not get those things working. So, and then I'm going on 6 months with this cell. Where do you buy your cells? Well, I buy my cells at my hot tub store for sure. You do need to buy you can only buy your cells with, from a local dealer. As far as I know, I don't think you can buy them online or do anything with that, but you're probably gonna have to buy those from a local dealer. I've actually asked them if I could offer them on my website, just because I'm not really a dealer, and even at a higher rate, and that it's just not, they're not going to allow that. So at this point, you are going to have to buy them locally. So that's kind of what you got going on there. Dawn Craig Twist, thank you. Well, thank you. And then she says, that's Facebook. Yes, that is my Facebook group, Clean Your Hot Tub Filters. It's got like 2 blue t-shirts on it right now. Let me see if I can actually pull that up so you can see that. Whoops. Facebook. And close that, and thank you guys for being patient with me. I have to get my knees replaced here coming up in February, so there's all kinds of stuff showing up on there, that on my Facebook group, that you guys don't want to see. Okay, let's see if I can go share my screen. So thank you for you guys' patience. Let's try this one. Oh, that's it. That's an old scene. Okay, yeah, that's sorry, that's gonna take me a little longer than I want it to, so I should have been a little more little more prepared than I was today. But anyway, if you go to facebook.com/groups and it's Clean Your Hot Tub Filter, there's 2 blue t-shirts that say Clean Your Filter on those. You can actually get registered for those. So that's, we are going to give that away. So that's a pretty cool thing as well. So let me where is my main camera? We'll go back here. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Dawn says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Michael, not sure that if it's true, I buy them online from Idaho. Interesting, Michael. That's shoot me a text in the message, because that would be, I would actually like to share a link for people to buy them, because I get that question every single day. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. And that price is killer. That's a killer price. So I'm not going to say what that is online, but that's a good price. So I'd say typically the cost for 3 is probably anywhere from $300 to $350, just kind of depending on where you buy them from. But that's interesting. But yeah, let me know. I will, if you can give me that link, I will definitely share it, because people are looking to buy them online. General thoughts about the Nordic brand industry reputation. I've had really good experience with Nordic. I've done Nordic many times over the years. They're super well insulated. They're a good looking hot tub. They really are. It's a good quality brand. If you've got a good dealer in your area, I would recommend the Nordic. Our sister store actually carries the Nordic brand, and they've had really good luck with them. Service and parts and all the things. So it's definitely a good way to go. So, and then, yes, Dawn, 2 blue shirts, and yes, found it. So awesome. Well, guys, I am going a little bit over an hour now. So any other questions, anything that anybody else needs to throw out there? I will clean this up, and this will be coming to the podcast here pretty quick. Next week, I've got Kevin from Spawn Sauna Company. He's going to be on the show with us, and so I'm super excited about that. He's great. He does a lot of good stuff over there. And I'm going to try to get this simulcast so that it is on the Facebook group, so you guys can actually see it there, and you don't actually have to log in to YouTube to do that. But I'm thrilled that you guys are here, and I'm thrilled that you guys have found me, and I really appreciate every single one of you. And if you guys have any specific questions that I didn't answer, or if you want me to go into something and tell you, if you want some advice on something, either schedule a consultation call or just get a hold of me, and I'll help you out. I want everybody to have a hot tub. That is my dream. For years, I have always said everybody should have a hot tub. And I don't care who you are, everybody should have a hot tub. So my dream is to help everybody become a happy hot tubber. And I love the brands that I sell, and I think they're the best way to go, but I'm not going to tell you not to buy a different brand. So if you have some serious questions, I will definitely help you out with it. And please, by all means, reach out to me, and I am happy to do so. But you guys are the absolute best. I think we've got everything. Nicole says thank you. Nicole, I'm glad you've been hanging out and watching, and I will see you guys all next week, and we will have Kevin on the show, and then I'm off for a week, and then I will be back again. So you guys, thanks so much, and thanks for letting me help you become a happy hot tub owner. We'll see you next week.